water in it, it'll crust over a little bit quicker. And because there's fans in here too, in the ceiling, it'll crust over fairly quick. The video on flooding. Oh, thanks, Nadine. Thank you so much. Yes, there's videos on, I can't talk tonight.
EmilyMays.com.
Yes, EmilyMays.com. I have a royal icing tutorial on there, so it's not just written out, it's actually explained in a video. And there's 3 videos that follow.
Yeah, there's a video on how to make the icing, and then we go into detail on how to achieve 3 different consistencies. We talk about the flooding consistency, piping consistency, and piping consistency. Did I say piping already?
I'm not sure.
I have the memory of a fish, so I don't know if I said something twice.
Oh, gosh.
But we have 3 of them.
Yeah, so if you're interested, if you need help with your royal icing, those videos are there for you if you check out the website. Thanks, Nadine. Okay, so we've got that one flooded. So we want to start working on, let's start working on our little feathers. So these little feathers, I have a whole bunch of different colors here. The feathers are basically these colors here. So let's cut all these ones open. Everything tonight I'm working with is, for the most part, a flood consistency. A little bit thicker of a flood consistency, but that's what we have tonight. Oh, thank you. Nick just popped the link in there for you guys to check out if you're interested. He's all over it. This color here, I'm really loving. It's the only color I actually brought along with me because I haven't used it very much. So this is gold with a little bit of electric yellow in it, and I thought it was a nice sort of like, is there such thing as a burnt yellow? I guess so. Burnt yellow? But it's not like a bright yellow. It's nice and sort of muted and ready for fall. So okay, so let's go to work. So we have 6 of these to do. Hey Jennifer, how are you? You didn't miss an announcement. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, it's been a heck of a week, but we're working through it, and yeah, I don't know. I was really hoping to open before Thanksgiving, but at this point, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I'm hoping to be open before the end of the month. That keeps changing, but it's just been, I feel like things just keep coming at us, so here's hoping for before Halloween, and we can open with a great big Halloween party, right?
Sounds like a fun idea. I'm going to switch the camera really quick, see if I can fix the other camera. So
Oh,
I'm just going
sure.
to be the non-top-down camera for a second while I try to fix it for you guys.
Non-top down?
The non-top-down.
Okay, so should I
That's the
stop?
technical term. No, keep going.
Okay.
It won't take too long.
Okay, so we can just chat away, but I'm going to keep flooding in these pieces here as Nick is doing his thing. Or do you need me out of the way?
No, keep going.
Okay. So I hope you guys have had a good week. I always feel bad if we don't go live, but last week I don't even remember what was happening.
Last week
I was tired.
Yeah, I think we just took a break.
Yeah. Yes,
Tapped out.
that's right. Nick had a very busy weekend doing something pretty interesting. I don't know if you must talk about it.
Yeah, maybe I want to fix this.
Sure. And I think I was so tired. I was so tired last week. So we took the evening off. So we've got these really fun colors here that I'm just going to kind of work away with and fill in our feathers. Candy corn colors. Yeah, you're right, Duffy. Orange, yellow, and white, right? Is that candy corn? Hi, Joanne. Thank you so much. I'm loving this fall thing happening behind us. It looks so nice. Okay, so I just have these two sections flooded in here. Nick's just working on the camera if you're just joining in. Oh, he broke the camera?
I broke it. I'm trying to fix it.
Okay. So Nick is working working on the camera, but I'm just going to go and flood in the middle piece. So we're not talking too many techniques tonight. It's fairly simple, but I think what might be interesting for you is, well, hopefully you have fun the whole night, but the turkey, because people are always, not always asking, but people do ask about character cookies a lot and how you know what section to work on first. So the turkey, we'll be doing that in a little bit here once we get our feathers started. So I'm just going around and filling this in. Aw, thanks, Loretta. Yeah, we missed being on last week. Then I posted we aren't going to be on, and everybody started commenting, and I was commenting when I said I was going to be resting, but it was nice to talk to you guys. Okay, so there's our first feather, and then I'm just going to put this fun line down the middle here. So we're going to try and do these all a little bit different. So before it has a chance to dry, because I don't want this to be up off of the cookie, I'll show you guys here if you don't have the overhead view yet. I'm not sure. So this is the first little feather that we have happening. So that's number 1, and we're just going to work our way through. So let's go to number 2. Hi Patricia, how are you? What's the weather like in Dallas? Oh my goodness. You don't have fall. You know what? You're missing out, Erin. Oh my gosh. Fall is, I think it's a lot of people's favorite here. It's just so nice, and it's kind of refreshing to get out of the heat. But we all know what's coming after that, but definitely my favorite time of year. So I'm just filling in the red here at the top of this feather. Once I get all these guys done, I'm gonna pop them in the dehydrator. Weird. Nick is hard at work here trying to figure out what's going on. He's got a pretty crazy setup going on here. So these little guys, I was thinking of using a feather shape that I already had, so I didn't have to use a little paring knife to cut them out. But it wasn't quite the size I wanted, so these ones were just cut out by hand as well. This one almost looks like Dijon mustard. Okay, and then we'll give this one a line here, and I'll hold it up and show you guys again. It's pretty much the same as the first one, but just different colors. And sometimes if you give it a little tap like this, it just helps to settle your icing. Oh, can they see me again, Nick?
I can see, but it's still a problem.
Oh, is
If I
it?
move fast, it goes all wonky.
Oh, darn. Should I slow
Just
down?
go real slow.
Okay. You want me to move slower?
It's okay. Just go a little
Okay.
bit slower if you can.
Okay.
Any fast movements are making it go all choppy.
Okay.
But I'm
That's
still working on it.
Okay, that's a challenge
Yeah,
for me. You
that's
know
the
that, right?
That's the compromise we have.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Hi, Elizabeth. You can't wait for snow, Duffy? Oh my goodness. The kids definitely love the snow. I don't like being cold. I do love looking at the snow. Let's see. Okay, we have a few more of these to go, so let's go through them. We'll try and go quickly, because I know this part isn't super exciting. Oh wow, that's funny, Jennifer. Yeah, it's gonna be cold here tonight. I know people are worried about their any veggies they have left in the garden tonight, because it's gonna be very cold here. Okay, so let's do some blue. So I was saying earlier that I was kind of inspired by all of these platters that people are doing right now, and when we get open, my plan is to offer a different platter class for every season. So before Christmas, we'd have a class where, or more so a workshop, not as much instruction, but you come and you can put together your own platter to take home and share with your family for the holiday. So before every season where that idea might work, like Thanksgiving or Easter, that kind of thing, where there's generally a meal involved and seeing family, that sort of thing, we're going to have a class where you can make a platter of cookies. So this was kind of partially inspired by that and by all these platters that people are doing right now. It seems to be kind of a trendy thing. How do you like these colors, Nick?
Blue and orange are two of my favorite colors.
Blue and orange?
Yeah. Looks kind of like surfer right now.
Does it?
I feel like surfer vibes.
Once we put the brown in on the turkey, it'll come together, so it won't look like a surfboard or anything. Hopefully. Okay. You've already had some snow? Oh my goodness. Yes, I saw out west there was so much snow. Oh my word. I'm not ready for snow yet. Although I have snow tires on the car. I was going to tell you, but then I was kind of embarrassed, but I might as well tell you. I left the snow tires on all summer.
I was going to say something. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to say anything.
I tell you.
It's easier that way.
Right? And then you're like, oh, look at all these people sliding around, and I already have my snow tires on. I had a couple people tell me, they're like, you know those tires aren't good in the rain, right? And I'm like, okay.
I don't drive in the rain too much.
Oh boy. Did anybody else leave their winter tires on all summer, or just me? I know Nick didn't. Oh my gosh. Oh, you ordered platter cutters. Oh, that's exciting, Loretta. You can do so many different things with them. Yes, that's right, Erin. It's so great. When you are shaking your icing bag while flooding, is that to smooth? Yes. Okay, let me think about that while I'm doing the next one, Jennifer. But she's asking if, when I was shaking the piping bag in the icing, if that's to help smooth out the cookie and if I'm still squeezing the icing. It depends. If I'm looking to fill the area in a little bit, yes, I'll keep squeezing. Let's see here. But yeah, it's usually how, a lot of the time, how I level out the icing. I don't get my scribe tool out too much. I've just gotten in the habit of doing it this way, I think, because I've gotten used to doing a lot of cookies at a time. So when I'm working on a tray of, let's say, 12 cookies, the less you have to stop for. Like, if I was to stop and pick up my scribe tool and do this, put it back down, adjust the bag again, it's just added time. And speed is always a factor when you're trying to get a lot of cookies done. So yeah, so when I let's see, what color do we need? Let's do red. So when I go to smooth out the icing, yes, it's just the tip of the piping bag, and it's down in that icing, and we're kind of just squiggling or moving it around. And sometimes I'll squeeze more icing in there if I'm not happy with how thick that icing is. I'll squeeze a little bit more in there while I'm trying to smooth it all out. So you can see here I'm not squeezing because I'm happy with how much icing is in there. But if I got to an area that was a little bit low on icing, I would squeeze more in there. Where a scribe tool comes in handy for me is points like this, where I don't want to run too much into the blue here with the red, or I want a sharper point of the icing, then a scribe tool is really great for that. I definitely use one, just not all the time. Oh, and we need a little line on this guy. We just have 2 more of these to do, and then we're going to get to our turkey, who's going to be the star of the night.
I might try restarting the stream before we start the turkey.
Oh, really?
Just
Okay.
to see if we can get rid of all this choppiness.
Okay.
I think I know what's going on.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I need to reset it for it to fix it.
Okay. No problem. So I just have 2 feathers to finish?
Yep.
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay. All right, so there's that one. We have 2 more, so we need some with yellow at the top. Hey Karen, how are you? Oh my gosh, Tammy, you left your winter tires on too? The guy told you winter tires can melt in the summer.
Totally, it's softer rubber, so your tires are being worn out prematurely.
Well, I might get in trouble.
You won't get in trouble. You're going to waste your tires.
Oh gosh. I never heard that.
Do you know the difference between summer tires and winter tires? How come? Isn't this common knowledge?
This is a cookie show. This is why I do a cookie.
Well, let me tell you.
This is why I do a cookie show. I don't talk about tires, Nick. I'm not so much a
Think of it as your winter tires are like a flooding consistency, and your winter tires are more of a piping consistency.
Okay.
That's the analogy right there.
Okay.
So in the winter the tire is softer and grips better, whereas in the summer it's harder and doesn't have to grip as much.
Okay.
That's how tires are made.
Okay. Well,
Just
thank
like
you.
icing.
Very good, Nick. Well, thank you for that.
Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
That's why he's here.
That's why I gave me the big bucks.
Oh gosh. You were being lazy. Oh my gosh. You won't do that again? Do you know what? I wouldn't even say that it was because I was lazy. I just get so, when I have one thing that I'm trying to get done, it's hard for me to focus on other things sometimes. So it got to the point where it's August and thinking, okay, there's no point getting summer tires on now. But I guess I learned my lesson. Okay, so we just have one more to do after this. Hey Jenny, from Chicago. I don't know, have we had Chicago before?
Not ringing any bells.
Oh, thanks for watching, Jenny. Nice to have you. Oh, Aunt Linda, yes, we're learning about tires tonight. Oh goodness, you didn't know that either. That's funny. Yes, okay, so the type of pumpkin, or the type of cookie tonight, everybody, I see a lot of pumpkin spice happening. I gotta tell you something. I was so excited to try a pumpkin spice latte. So I went and ordered one, and I was so excited, and I did not like it at all. Do you
No.
like them?
Not particularly.
But see, I don't like coffee. So I honestly thought it was more like a chai latte where it's that nice concentrate. But I didn't realize it was coffee, to be honest. So I didn't like it. But anyways, pumpkin spice is kind of all the rage right now. But again, I just wanted to do something a tiny little bit different. So this is a brown sugar cinnamon cookie. It's I love brown sugar and cinnamon. So that's just looking to see what colors we need here. That's the flavor for tonight. And I actually had to make dough. I feel like I haven't made dough for quite a while because I'm not doing any cookies right now. Mind you, if you're local, watch the Facebook page because I might be working on a little something for next weekend.
A little something, something.
A little something. So watch the Facebook page for that. Alright, so this is our last feather here.
See, Liz St. Pierre confirmed my tire knowledge.
Somebody confirmed your
Yeah,
tire
she
knowledge?
Googled that the winter tires don't work as well in the summer.
Oh,
as they
very
wear now.
nice. Okay. Well, I think a lot of us probably learned something tonight about tires. I'll just put a little line down the middle. These are super simple, which is kind of nice to do simple stuff. Louisiana. Liz, how are you? Yes, they're pretty yummy, Jenny. I tried one and I found them a tiny bit dry, so I wasn't really thinking this recipe. I did 6 cups of flour, but a lot of the times what I'll do is add in a little bit less than what it calls for, but I didn't. And with it getting colder too, I find that the cookies can be a little bit drier, so you might need to add a little bit less flour through the colder months in the winter. I don't know if that's just me or if it's just kind of the science of flour and butter. But yes, they're a little bit dry, so I'm going to have to watch that next time I make them. They're still yummy. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Erin, you're not pumpkin spice either? Okay, so there's 2 of us. 3 of us. You said you don't like it, Nick.
No,
Okay.
never been.
Steamed milk with pumpkin spice syrup. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, thanks, Suzanne. We'll have to try that one. Okay, so Nick, do you want to?
So yeah, we're gonna stop
Okay.
the stream really quick. This top view camera is being so choppy, and we don't want to subject you guys to that. I'm gonna try to fix it with a quick fix. That's gonna require us to restart. So I'm not sure if it'll pick back up here, but if you give us a couple seconds, refresh your Facebook, and we should pop right back up. So I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're back.
Oh, are we back?
I think we're back. It should resume shortly.
Are we back now?
I don't know.
Okay, I
We're gonna
guess
do this
people will
before.
tell us. They'll tell us if we're back.
It says we're streaming. The video
Oh,
is starting.
okay. All right, I see us.
You see us?
I think we're back.
You think we're back?
Yep, I think
We're
we're back. All right. Yay, okay, we're back. You guys are finding us again. Sorry about that. Hopefully Nick's resolved the issue, so we'll keep moving on. So we just finished the feathers and I put them in the dehydrator. So now we're going to get to the turkey. Hey Maureen, how are you? Yes, we're back. Thanks, Robin. Okay. So can I move a little
You can do
quicker
whatever
this
you wanna
time?
do now. I don't know what happened there, but
Okay.
it seems to be working
Okay. Hi, Liz. Okay, so we're gonna get to our turkey. This guy, you panicked, Christine. Oh. This guy is hand cut, so he's not a cutter that you can find anywhere. If you missed what I was talking about earlier, I traced the image onto a piece of acetate, and then I put the acetate onto the cold cookie dough, and then I cut around the shape with a little paring knife. And then generally when you do that, I find I kind of have to go around and smooth the edges in because they're kind of rough from the cutting. So if you just take your finger or a little spatula or something and smooth the sides down, you can't even really tell that it was hand cut, I don't think. Some parts aren't as sharp as it would be with a cookie cutter, but yeah, so it was just a piece of acetate to trace around. Hey Lily, how are you? Happy Friday night. Nice to see you. Okay, so we're all good, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Until someone tells us otherwise.
Okay. They'll let us know, right?
They know the protocol.
Okay. So again, if you guys want to share the video, we appreciate that. We're on a new, we're doing a new stream here now, so if you want to share, that would be wonderful. If you're new here, let us know. Make sure you like the page and follow along what we're doing. Hey Cheryl, how are you? And make sure you're over on Instagram too if you're on Instagram. I tried to keep up there on stories. I haven't been at all this week. It's been a really long week. I actually kind of thought about not doing this tonight.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
close. I was a little close.
Were you?
I got some energy today, so I was like, let's do this.
Yeah, and then I started thinking, like, I need to do something that I really love this week. I needed to. And I love doing this, so I think I would have been mad at myself if I had missed it. So, because we like chatting with you guys, so here we are. The turkey's so cute, thank you. Hey Brenda, how are you? Okay, so what I did to help me and to help you guys see things a little bit better, definitely makes it a lot easier for me, is you take a food doodler marker. So it's a food coloring marker, and we put the image onto the cookie. So now it's basically like a fun little coloring page with icing. This is a really great thing to do too on a couple of cookies if you do like decorate your own cookie kit. If you can somehow get the image onto the cookies, it really helps the kids with a couple of them. So that's kind of a fun little thing. Hey Crystal! Yay! Thanks for coming on with us. Hey Kelly! How are you? Okay, so let's get to work on this guy. I don't know about you guys, but I always struggle with brown. I struggle with it, and I was mad at myself because I've really been liking the Buckeye brown, but I can't find it. Things are here, things are at my house, so things are kind of all over the place right now. So I was working with warm brown and with chocolate brown from AmeriColor, and this is the range of colors I got. So this one, actually, I ended up putting a little bit of white in it. I don't use white very often, white food coloring, but that's why that one is so kind of, I hate to call it kind of milky, but anyway, so this is the colors that we're working with the brown. You made a pumpkin spice cookie recipe. It was so good. Yes, pumpkin spice latte, not so good. Yeah, I like pumpkin spice cookies. Hey Holly, how are you? That should be Cookie Looky, not Cookie Lily. Did it say Lily somewhere?
Where? Well, I think it was one of her comments I put on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't something I did.
I was gonna say Nick has daughter
That was
named Lily.
Yeah, that was Cheryl's.
Oh,
previous
okay.
comment. She wrote Lily.
I thought it was
And I thought,
typo.
I did it too.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut this one open here. This is going to be the little belly of our turkey. So what's important when you're working with a sort of character cookie like this, you always have to think of what you want to be more forward. So you've probably heard me say this before if you've been watching us for a while. Things to think about, like your chin sticks out further than your neck. So if you were doing a cookie that had a neck and a head, you would do the neck first. So then you'd go back and do the chin and the face for later on, because it comes out further. So I hope that makes sense. But that's just something you really want to think about if you're looking to sort of up your game with character cookies. Thinking about how things will lie on the cookie is sort of key. So we're going to start by doing his little belly here. And I'm kind of okay with this color, kind of not, but we can make it work. And the way I can make it work is if I was really unhappy with it later, I could go back and dust it with some brown or paint over it a little bit to make it the color that I was hoping to get. But for now, this is what we're going for, what we're working with. Okay, so we just fill in his tummy there. And then I'm going to do the wings here at the side. So we're going to go with this brown that's a little bit darker. And I'm going to work in sections that aren't right next to each other because I don't want to do a wet on wet technique here. I want to have drying time in between these sections to give them a little bit of dimension, a little bit of separation. So if you're new to this, what I mean is that I wouldn't do the belly and then do this part, the body, right after, because I don't want them to blend together. I want this to feel like a bit of a separate piece than this one. This too will help with color bleed. If you have problems with color bleed, this might help a little bit. Color bleed is a whole other issue, but it can help a little bit with that. Okay, so we're gonna go with this darker brown. Hey Rachel, happy Friday. Oh, we made it here. Oh, Duffy, what did you find? You're in Moncton. Something was on sale. What was it that was on sale? I must have missed that. Oh, pumpkin spice Baileys. Oh, wow. That would be nice in cookies, actually.
That would be delicious in cookies.
In some baking, yeah, that would be really nice.
I'd go for a Bailey's cookie.
Oh. Okay, so we're gonna do the wings here. So I'm going to kind of over accentuate his wings a little bit because I want to define these little areas a little bit more than what they are currently. So I'm gonna let that dry just for a second here while I go back and do this one. Generally I don't let things dry, but there's definitely times when I do let the outline dry and come back to it. Okay, and then we're gonna do this little part of his leg down here. There's so much clicking happening over there. Is that you clicking?
I'm looking away, yeah. You hear it?
Oh, maybe it's the fan. I thought Nick was over there typing up his story. I think it's the fan.
It's the fan.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do his little legs here too. And these I can just fill in because I'm not so worried about that little shape there.
It's a sprinkler. It's like vibrating
Oh,
from the fan.
okay. Oh, Duffy, wow. That sounds nice. You don't like pumpkin in any shape or form, Kathy, really? Huh. So, pumpkin pie, do you know what? I'm not a big fan of pumpkin pie. I do like pumpkin spice, like flavored cookies and that sort of thing. So see here, by just giving it that couple of minutes, now it's helping us to hold that shape of that wing a little more, so it has a little bit more of, what's the word I'm going for?
I wasn't listening.
It's just sort of holding up that shape a little bit better for us.
Firm?
No. No. I can't think of the word. But the outline is not exactly what the cookie shape is, so I kind of defined it a little bit more.
Nice.
That's what I was going for. Defined.
That was my second choice.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're just gonna go and fill this in here. This guy's cute. All right. So now we have to think about what sections we can work on. So this section, I'm not ready to work on this one yet because we just did these, this area here. So I want that to have a little more time to dry yet. I'm thinking what I would do next is his face, because the beak and the little, we've had this discussion before. What is this called right here on the turkey? It's a wattle or something, isn't it? Or is there a different name for it?
Definitely a different name.
Do people
I
know?
think Duffy will speak up.
Duffy? Does anybody
know.
know what this piece here is? I feel like it's called a wattle.
I think you're right.
Am I?
I'm terrible.
Somebody had a
at
very
stuff.
technical name, though, I think, for it. I could be. Yes, you guys are right. Definition. That's right. That's the word I was looking for. I think it's wattle.
Yep, wattle.
Wattle.
W-A-T-T-L-E.
Okay, so not a waddle.
Well, Loretta said
Wobble. Michelle, she
Yeah.
calls it a wobble.
Michelle calls it a wobby.
Oh, that's
calls
so
it the
funny. The gobbler. Waddle. Oh, that's so funny. Well, we're all on the same train, I
Yeah, we're
think.
close.
Okay, so next I'm going to do his little face here, and I'm going to do it with a bit of a lighter brown, because we're going to put some little pink dusty rose cheeks on him, and I want to be able to see it. So I'm going with a bit of a lighter brown, and I also like the idea of the darker brown for the wings and for the top little part of his legs here, because it kind of feels like it's more, well, further back. To me it does anyways, the deeper color. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the little head on him. Okay, so I'm just going to outline these details here. Sometimes I do it this way. It seems to depend on the day for me, how I do this, but I think this is a really good way if you need help with character cookies. If you draw on there first, then you can outline your details, and then you're just going back and filling things in. But there are times where I'll go fill in the whole head and I just add the little details on top. It really just depends on what you're most comfortable with. So this icing is a little bit thicker. The reason being is there's always more potential for craters in smaller spaces. I also want to have a little more control of my icing. So if it's thicker, you have a little bit more control. And it will also dry a tiny bit quicker for us because there's less water when the icing is thicker, because we haven't added as much additional water to it, obviously. So those three things combined, that's why I have a thicker icing here. So now we know exactly where to put the eyes, exactly where to put the nose, and exactly where to put the wattle.
The wattle.
The wattle. Wattle. Yes, Melody. You got it. Thank you for sharing. What piping bags do I use? These ones are TMP, I believe. Yes, I think they're TMP, tipless piping bags. And this is a medium size.
Your head's over the cookie.
Oh gosh, sorry, that was probably a really nice
Getting real
view.
into it.
Yeah, I'm getting right into it here. You can see I cut the tail off of the bags. I did that because I feel like when we do the lookie, if this big tail, it can kind of get in the way of the cookie. But generally, when I cut the tail off, it's because it's a thicker icing, and I leave the thinner ones with the tail on. But tonight I just cut them all off because they're all the same consistency, and I just didn't like that big tail hanging off the end. Okay, so there's his little face. I have no idea what time it is, Nick.
It is 10:30.
Oh, we're only an hour in.
Only?
Yeah.
I guess we're halfway to our agreed upon duration.
Did we officially agree on the time?
We never officially
Oh,
signed
okay.
off. Should we?
I'm okay with 2 hours, but if I go past, is that okay?
We'll see.
Okay. Hey, Sharon. Yes, we're back. Sorry, we had to restart. Yeah, Cheryl, you guys definitely have to come. Once we get up and going, you guys will have to come up to a class for sure. There will be lots of classes, and I've been wanting to plan them for weeks now, but things just keep happening and setting us back a little bit, so I just haven't posted the classes. At this point, I'm really hoping we can have a Halloween class in here as the first class. We were hoping to be open August?
Yeah.
In August. So,
Then it came.
yes. And now we're in October, and I'm still not 100% sure. But we'll get there. I know people always say to expect the unexpected. I expected things to happen, but it's just been, I feel like, a lot of big things. But what did my father-in-law say the other day? Oh, through adversity comes courage and determination, I think is what he said. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
So, going through all this stuff just makes you stronger, I guess, is what it comes down to. And I only want it more. As much as I've gone through all those feelings of, should I really be doing this? Or, we won't get too much into that, but I want it, and it makes me want it more, so we're going to make it happen. Right, Nick? We're making it happen. We're making it happen. I won't get off on a big rant. That was probably enough of a tiny rant. Yes, one thing at a time. That's right. Yeah, Cheryl, definitely have to stop and visit. That's right. Okay, so I'm just thinking here of what we are going to do next. I think I'm going to go ahead and fill in the little top part of his hat here. So I thought this guy was kind of cute with his little hat. When I first showed Nick, he thought it was a leprechaun of some sort.
I thought it was a rooster leprechaun.
Rooster.
Or turkey leprechaun.
Oh,
sorry.
turkey leprechaun. It could be. But for today's purposes,
He's a pilgrim.
he's dressed up for Thanksgiving, yeah. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white in the top here. And then we're going to kind of blend it in a little bit. So this is just to give the idea of like a light shining down on the hat. Just for a little bit of interest up here. Like a reflection, I guess, off of the hat. Just kind of gives it a little something, and sometimes little things like this can make it just a tiny bit more interesting, maybe a little bit more realistic, if that's such a thing. Okay, so now I'm going to go back down here to his the rest of his belly, and we're going to go back in with that same color that we just did his head. Oh, thanks, Aunt Linda. Yes, it's happening. It's definitely happening. It's just taking a little more time. That is for sure. But it will be worth it. I'm so excited when we can actually tell you guys to come in and see us and visit. There's going to be lots of classes, and Nick has some really great ideas for people that don't live close by, that can't easily come to a workshop. He's got some really cool ideas, right, Nick?
We're going to try some virtual stuff.
Some virtual stuff, which I think is going to be so great. I'm really excited to actually set that stuff into motion. So don't fret if you're interested in a class but you live halfway around the world. We're hoping to be able to include you too, so we're excited for that. Okay, so I'm trying to put in a little bit more. Is my head in the way?
You're okay.
I'm okay. So I'm trying to make this part a little more puffy because I want this to be, his belly to be a little more sunken in, kind of, in a way, and I want this to stand out a little bit more, the edge here. He's so cute, eh? I'm actually okay with this weird sort of tan brown color. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I think I'm okay with it. So I don't see sign of any craters yet, so that's good news. Get these scissors. Pardon me?
Camera just clicked.
Oh, I didn't hear it. It was my scissors, maybe?
Maybe. I can just do it anyway.
Okay.
It's coming up close.
Kelly, yes, this is going to be a platter, but just a cute little one. Or it could also be a cute little centerpiece. Let's see. Oh, you're in Curtis. How far is Curtis from Peterborough? Is that kind of like Bowmanville area?
I think so, yeah.
Nick bus with winter tires? Were you talking about a Nick bus? Are you driving a bus, Nick? Karen. Yes, virtual stuff is going to be so great. I'm so excited for that, and I think it's kind of what he has in mind is kind of unique to the cookie world anyways.
For sure. I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. I don't think we should give too much away anyways.
Now, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's something you can definitely learn online. Like Sweet and Saucy Life and Dots and Bows.
Oh, the Nick bus for the people who live far away.
Oh, the Nick bus. Oh, okay. Yeah.
On board.
Look what I just did. No. How do I get this off? I know what I'm going to do. See what I just did? Does it? So I'm going to... Oh my gosh. Does it stay?
I don't know. What do people think? I think it looks like an awesome little belly button.
Does this look like a belly button? Oh my goodness. What do you guys think? I just got like the tiniest bit of black icing on the cookie. And Techie Guy Nick thinks we should leave it because it looks like a belly button. Oh my goodness. Now that's all I'm going to look at. We got some thumbs up. Should we leave that or should I take it off? You have to act quickly.
It's dry.
Belly button. Should we leave that as a belly button or should I take it off? Let me know, because I'll have to get it off quickly. I need your help. Leave it? Okay. Okay. It does look like a belly button. See, sometimes unintentional things turn out to be wins. Oh boy, that's funny. I think the black had crusted over a little bit on the tip of the bag, so when I went to lift it up, a little piece of it came off.
Cheryl
Leave
thinks
it.
you should take it off, but we're getting a lot of leave
Oh, so many leave it, Cheryl.
Duffy, Lori, Patricia.
Oh wow.
Duffy.
Okay. I don't know. You guys.
Or you can show us how to fix it.
Show,
That's
okay,
a
that's a good idea too. So,
Sherelle? I'm sorry, I said Cheryl.
so what I would do to get that off, I'm kind of risking it right now because that has been drying for a little while now. So if
So
I,
speed is of the essence.
speed, yes, but, what I would do, actually, we're gonna do this. Okay, so what I would do, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this, the same color icing as the belly, and put it on the end of my scribe tool here, made by Lisa. We're gonna be selling these in the shop, if I didn't say that already tonight. But we're gonna be selling these scribes. They're awesome in the shop. They're not very heavy, they're nice and light, but anyways, just the tiniest little bit of icing on the tip of the needle. And then what I would do is try and stick that down. See? It came right off. So I just stuck it down on that little black piece, and that's how you get it off. The reason I went with the tan is because if I was to get any of that icing onto the belly and I use black, then you got an even bigger mess. So that's how. Oh, Duffy said don't do it. Turkeys don't have belly buttons.
They don't have hats either.
You guys are all mixed here. Yes, that's right, Cheryl. It's hard to leave that on there. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this little belly button. We're just gonna leave it right at the side. We might put it back on. I do have a hard time leaving it, even though I asked you guys. Okay, I'm
would
gonna
have
leave
left
it
on.
You would have left it?
on.
But it was a good time to teach people how to take it off.
Very
so
much.
thank you for asking that. It wasn't sitting right with you, Cheryl. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, it was a teaching moment. Is that what you call it, or a teachable moment?
A very teachable moment.
Teachable moment. Okay. So now I'm gonna do the bottom part of his hat here. And I'm gonna go right over where we drew on the cookie. Because that's easy enough to just put right on top of this hat once we're ready for it. So now I'm not squeezing any more icing into the cookie right now because I've got enough in there. I'm just using the tip of the piping bag down in the icing to help smooth it out. Okay, so next thing we're going to do his little beak here. I was trying to make sure that I said the right word. I think it's a beak. Isn't it?
I think so.
I could be wrong. Don't put it back, Cheryl said. Oh, we'll see, Cheryl. They all want it back. Okay. Yes, a good teaching moment, Karen. That's right. Okay. So we're going to do his little beak, if we all agree that's what it's called here, with this gold and yellow. And I'm going to puff this up a little bit. So I'm going to, some people say this is like cookie Botox. So we're just going to squeeze a little bit of extra icing in there because I want it to be even more forward than the face and obviously than the belly. So I'm just plumping it up with more icing. That's another reason why you want a thicker icing when you're doing these sort of details, is because it allows you that opportunity to sort of thicken it up. Okay, so where do we go from here, friends? We could do the little feet. They're so cute. I'm going to leave them till last because it's such a nice, cute little finishing detail. We're going to leave that till last. Let's see. So I think we're going to go ahead and do the belt on the hat. So for this one, we're going to use, do we use this light brown here or the same color as the turkey? I think the same color as the turkey maybe. I think the light brown would be too light. Or will it look like the top of his head? Maybe we do this one. I think we're going to do this one. And then I'll darken it later if I don't like it, if it's too light.
Oh my, Anne would like to know where you got this cookie cutter from.
Oh, the cookie cutter is, so this actually isn't a cookie cutter, it's just one that I cut out by hand. If you weren't here earlier, Anne, I just traced it out onto a piece of acetate, and then I put the acetate down onto the cookie dough, and then I cut it out with a sharp little paring knife. And then you kind of push in the sides a little bit to make the sides a little bit smoother, because they can tend to be a little bit rough and sort of choppy if you hand cut. But this was just a one-off. I've seen a lot of turkeys out there.
Why are you looking at me when you said that? She looked
I've seen a lot of turkeys.
She looked directly over here. She looked right here. Oops.
Oh gosh, I looked right at Nick. That wasn't intentional. Sorry. Oh yeah, I've seen lots of different turkeys out there, and I just wanted to do something different. I know there's always techniques and whatnot that are sort of in, but I don't know. I feel like you see a lot of those all over the place, so we just try to do something different. You love him. Thank you so much. Because you're a turkey, Nick. Obviously. Duffy, right? Okay. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so now we can go and let's do, I don't want to do his wattle quite yet, because if I do, it's going to run right into the yellow. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do his little orange feet. This orange here is a combination of that gold color with AmeriColor orange. So what I did for mixing these colors, I started with the yellow in one bowl. I didn't clean out the bowl. I used the same bowl to do the orange, left a little bit of that yellow in there, so it's not a bright orange, it's a little more muted. And then I left a little bit of the orange in there when I went to do the red. So it's it saves you a few dishes when you do it that way, but it also creates like a custom palette for you, because it's not exact yellow, exact orange, and red. It's a little bit different. So okay, let's go ahead and do his little feet. So he's just got these cute little stick feet. So this is a flood icing, but it's a thicker flood icing. You could not do this with your 10 or 12 second flood. You could. You'd have to be very careful, and there'd be a lot of potential to get craters. So just make sure it's a little bit thicker when you do these tiny little details. Isn't he so cute? Oh my goodness. And then here, I'm just going to connect this a little bit more to the bottom of his little leg. Just kind of spreading it out a little bit. This is just a tiny little detail, but stuff like this can make a big difference in your cookies. Just taking a second to do that tiny little bit extra. I know it's not ideal when you have 200 of these to do, but if you're just doing a few of them, then it's definitely worth a bit of extra time. So cute. Yes, Duffy. We haven't seen Duffy in a while. You have to come back sometime soon, Duffy. I'm sure she'll be one of the first people through the door once we get open. Duffy's a great supporter of us. She's wonderful. Super nice. Okay, so now I think we go for the eyes. What might be really cute here, if he'd been in the dehydrator, I'd give him some little eyelashes. We might still be able to do that, actually. But before we do, actually we can do that now. So what I'm going to do, Sweet Ambs does this a lot. If you watch her, she'll just use her really long pointy scribe needle to pull out eyelashes on the side. Sorry if my head's in the way. Let's just do a couple little. Nick?
Yes.
Are you able to turn off that dehydrator, or are you? Okay, thank you. So you just want to do this fairly quickly after filling in here. Before it dries on you. So we just pull out these sweet little eyelashes. You could also draw them on, but if you would rather use the icing, this is a cute little way to do it. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we just want to put a little bit of reflection of light in her eye. So I've got the white here, and I'm going to just put a little bit off to the side, and then take my necklace is driving me bonkers. It keeps banging on the table. Just take a little bit from here, and then put it into the eye. I have learned not to, for me, this doesn't work anyways, to use white food coloring in the eye, because that white is really strange. It never dries properly. I don't know what it is, but there's something that does not dry in that white icing color. So I did a whole bunch of cookies. It was some Star Wars cookies, I think for Father's Day. I did them all, worked hard on them, then I made the mistake of doing white in the eyes with that white food color, and they didn't dry, and they smeared all over all the cellophane bags. So anytime the cookie moved around in the bag, it smeared even more on the bag, and then white got all over the rest of the cookie, and it was just a bit of a nightmare. Because at that point, what do? Like, you don't want to have to replace 50 or 60 cookies or however many you did. So when you can, use the, I would recommend using the icing, because we know that it's going to dry. Just don't use straight on white color. Has anybody else had that happen? Duffy, you were going to sneak, you should have. Anytime. Anytime. We'd love to have you. Karen, I just kind of did up my own thing for these cookies. It's my basic sugar cookie recipe, but I did swap out some of the regular granulated sugar for brown sugar. I also like the idea of sort of like a more traditional cookie, and I think of what sort of spices and whatnot they would have had way back when, and I don't know when cinnamon came to be, but I just feel like brown sugar and cinnamon are kind of earthy, so that's kind of why I went with those. But can you guys see those little white dots? They're so cute. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and put that buckle on, and then we're going to do cheeks, and then the wattle. Okay. So let's do the buckle here. Again, this is a thick flood consistency, so it's I don't have the best control with it, but it'll still do its thing here. You just have to, I just have to kind of work it a little bit more to make it more of a straight line. Make it a little bit thicker here. And then the little buckle comes here. So you can see how it's kind of spreading a little bit. That's because it's flood icing. That's why you want to make sure you have the right consistencies. And if you don't, stop before you get mad at yourself. Okay, so you can see the dots. Oh good, Kathy. They're just teeny tiny. Okay, so I am going to grab those cookies out of the dehydrator because I want to give this another minute here to crust over, and I'll be right back. Do you want to like say anything?
Not particularly.
Can they look at the fall scene for a minute?
Look at the fall scene.
Okay,
Let's do
we're
that.
taking you back to the woods. We're taking you back to the woods for a minute.
I remember where it was.
Oh, okay.
Huzzah!
One of your cookier friends put a yellow chiclet on the band. Oh, that's different. Huh. That's kind of a cute little idea. Okay. So I'm gonna head over to the dehydrator and just hang out in the fall weather here, and I'll be right back. Okay. Here we go. She's so cute. Okay, I'm just gonna let her hang out for a minute off to the side. I don't know why I said her. It could be a he. I don't know. The little turkey is very cute. You guys like the turkey? Let's take it off of here for now. I'm gonna set it off to the side so I don't ruin it. Okay, so we're gonna come back to that turkey in a minute. I think I'm still okay for time.
You've still got over half an hour.
Over half an hour? Okay. So we're good. So I want to do this chalkboard cookie with you quickly. This is how I do chalkboard cookies. Everybody does stuff different, but I'm going to show you how I've had success with them. So I'm going to put this under a paper towel here. Put that under there. Okay. So this has had a little bit of time to dry, so you can see it's nice and shiny. So if you're wondering why I use the dehydrator, this is one of the reasons why, is because it's so nice and shiny now. Normally I don't rub my fingers all over a cookie like this, but to show you guys that it's crusted over, nothing's sticking to my finger. Yeah, so the dehydrator is a good friend. Aw, thank you. Thanks, April. I don't know how I feel about the new lids, Duffy.
I like them.
Nick, you like them?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the lids.
Everyone's upset with. Everyone hates change.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I'm okay with
Yeah, I
them.
think they look cool, and I like them because like it cools the coffee off as I'm drinking it a little bit because it goes up in the air a little bit. So
Okay.
it's very scientific.
Or if you have whipped cream, there's more room for
Yeah,
the whipped cream
exactly.
on top. It's a big, a hot topic here in Canada. Ah. Oh, thanks, Erin. You bought markers, Duffy? Oh, the two-sided ones. Yeah, they're great. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I just have a little container of confectioner's sugar, icing sugar. So I'm going to dust some of this lightly onto the cookie. And it kind of gives that look like there's been chalk on there, and then you're using that brush that gets full of chalk dust, and you wiped it off. I hope this shows up okay for you guys. But it doesn't take much at all to do this. I used to wonder how this was done, and then I tried a couple things and like, why it was so easy. But I thought it was there was more to it. And I think too it depends on the exact look you're going for, but this is just a really simple one. Okay, and then we can just, oh, you can't carry the cup in your teeth, Duffy. Oh, I see. Okay.
You can if you try hard enough. I've tried already.
Oh, really? April, they should have spent more time. Yes, I know. It's funny, isn't it, how there's all this talk about straws, but other things just seem to keep going. I don't know. Okay, so you can see that it looks kind of dusty now that we've brushed this off of here. Right? We can always go back and add a little bit more later. But now it's got that sort of not so shiny look. It's still shiny but dusty. Do you use dehydrator sheets? No, Deb, I don't use sheets on the trays. I never have. I've never really had an issue with it. Unless if you have any issues where cookies are flooded to the point where they're running off of the side and there's icing dripping down onto the next tray. I've definitely experienced that before. But no, I don't use any sheets on the dehydrator trays. I just use them as is. Okay, so now we are going to use some of that white icing that I was telling you about that I don't really like using. But it definitely has certain things that I would find hard to replace using a different product with. Like that was probably didn't make any sense what I just said. But there are certain purposes for this where I don't know how I would do it differently if I didn't have this color. So I just put it in the lid of my little Tupperware container there. And then this might be too wide. But I'm just going to go around and give it sort of the little lines around the outline here. And then when it comes to writing on the cookie, you could either write on there with icing, or you could use the white color. It's whatever you're feeling, whatever look you're going for. But I just kind of wanted those little sort of stitch lines around the outside. So what I would do, because I was talking about the white not drying properly, I probably wouldn't want to put this one in a bag, to be honest, because of my experience with this stuff not drying properly. But what can help is if you dust cornstarch on here, or I don't know if the icing sugar would work the same way, but I know some people do dust cornstarch on their cookies if they're having trouble with stickiness, with the top being tacky. So you could try that. I just thought this would kind of be a cute little thing to go along with the turkey. And because Nick asked for 2 hours.
We never confirmed nor denied that.
Oh, okay. I'm just working our way around. Whenever I am using a paintbrush, I don't know. I know Aunt Linda's watching. If you guys know Aunt Linda, she's the painter. If you saw her on the marathon we did. But it's just something that when you get the paintbrush going, maybe I should take up painting.
Fun.
It's like I think it's kind of like, I don't know if my husband is still on, but when people are really into classical music and their brain just goes elsewhere, or whatever it is that you're really into and your brain goes elsewhere. Mine seems to do that with painting, and I don't even know if I'd really consider this painting, but I just find it kind of relaxing. Okay, so there's our cute little cookie. Crystal, what setting do I put the dehydrator on? The lowest possible. Basically, you just want that bit of warm air blowing over your cookies. You don't want to put it too high. It could cause a lot of problems rippling. It could dry the cookies out. So just keep it on the lowest setting possible. Karen, so why not do the stitching with watered down icing? Yep, you totally could, Karen. You totally could. I think with this, it looks more like chalk when I use that white icing color. Oh, wow, Duffy, that's a good deal. Manual kind of tracing projector. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. Cheryl, in the very near future, you may be getting a whole lot of requests for frozen cookies. Oh, Frozen 2 merchandise hit the stores today. Is there a Frozen 2 coming out?
Yeah, man.
See?
Really close. Is it out yet?
I don't know.
I know it's close. We've been watching the previews with my daughter.
Oh, wow. We watch a lot of Lego videos, a lot of like
Those are like out every year.
Marvel kind of stuff. We're like
Marvel's out every 6 months. There's a new Marvel.
I don't even think I've seen Frozen.
The first one? It's amazing.
I don't think so. I may have seen parts of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the boys they're just not
I guess.
into it.
You should definitely watch it.
I try singing the song to Jack because I've heard that many times, but he does not like that. Jack is our oldest son. Let's see. Duffy. Yes, yeah, let me know how it goes. Or bring it here and we can try it together, Duffy, that little projector. Next month it comes out. Oh, thanks, Aunt Linda. Wow. Okay, so what we could do here is, I think what I might do, because this white icing is kind of thin, do you guys think I should, actually, I don't know if I should ask you this, because it might be too thin. I'm just trying to write something off to the side to see how it holds. Oh, this camera just clicked. So I'm going to write something on there with a paintbrush, and we'll see how it goes.
And I'll fix the camera.
I'll have a sip of tea. Okay, is it okay?
Yep.
I don't know how that thing holds it, to be honest. He has the camera. Oh, is it not? The camera is hanging from this massive arm.
It's called a C-stand.
A C. It doesn't look like a C, though.
I don't know why I got that name, but it definitely is a C-stand.
Okay. Anyways. Okay, so I'm going to write on here. Yes, Mama 3 boys. Yeah, you get it. That's so funny. Okay, thanks, Duffy. Okay, so I'm going to write on here. I thought it'd be really cute to write gobble.
That would be cute.
So we're just going to go for it, and I'm just going to... I
Just
didn't
one
really...
gobble or two gobbles?
Maybe a big gobble and then a
big
little
gobble,
one.
not a
Like
gobble,
gobble. So we're just going to go for it. I'm going to print it or write it. What do you think, Nick?
Ooh.
Maybe print it?
I think print it, yeah.
Okay. So,
Although, yeah, every time my teacher wrote on the board, it was always handwriting.
right. We're going to print it. Okay.
Sorry, Miss Thompson.
Is she watching?
No.
This I didn't really plan out, but...
Christina says to do one print and one cursive.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should have done this top one cursive.
Did you do like a small cursive underneath of it? Does
Mm,
that look too weird?
this paintbrush is not very good.
Is that what we're printing?
So I'm just going to go over this now that I kind of have it in place. And just make some of this a little bit thicker. This is definitely not my best, but it kind of gives you the idea anyways. And the way that it kind of dries on the cookie after you put the icing sugar on there, it looks a lot more like chalk to me. Let's do gobble, and then we'll do a little one down here. Definitely not perfect, but it's still gonna be cute. Okay, so there's our cute little gobble gobble. And let's go back to our little turkey. So I think I'm going to take a picture of this and show you why I think it looks more like chalk. I think it's going to be easier to see when it's dry. Okay, so there's that guy. So we're going to come back to that at the end. Okay, so let's get out our little turkey, and he needs the wattle. Okay. Oh, let's do the cheeks first, actually. So I have a pink petal dust here, and I'm going to do the cheeks first because if we do the wattle and then the cheeks, this will stick right to the wattle because it's wet. So we're going to do this first. So some cute little sparkly cheeks. It doesn't take much of that at all. And then we'll do a little bit of red, and then we can put it all together. So cute. You guys like this? We should name the turkey. What should we name the turkey? Never had to name a turkey before.
I've never named any turkeys either. That's not something
I've named people turkey.
I've been called turkey tonight.
Oh gosh, never had to name a turkey though. Alright, I think it's so cute. What do you guys think?
Tommy? Tommy the turkey?
Tom.
Tom?
Tom Turkey?
Tom Turkey?
That's cute. Tara, she's adorable. Aw, thanks. Goobler? Goobler? Tom. April, do you know what? It's funny that you say that because we have some custom cutters that are coming to the shop through Manny. So I talk about her sometimes, Manny's Cookies. She does cutters, and we've created some sort of together for the shop. So there will be some custom cutters available in the shop, and we'll make them a feature on the Cookie Lookie and in classes and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's definitely coming. She's so sweet. Okay, so there's our little turkey. I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way so we can have a nice clean picture. I had some little pumpkins and whatnot, of course, in case we didn't fill up enough time, Nick.
That never happens.
But I think we're pretty good. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. So if you guys have any more questions, now is a really good time to ask them because we're pretty close to wrapping up. Thank you. Nicole, is that what you would name the turkey, Kathy? Juanita Turkey? That's cute. Tony the turkey? Oh gosh, I know, April. I know certain things are out of our control right now with opening, but hopefully by the end of the month we'll be open. That's why I've been kind of quiet this week, but it is coming. Okay, I'm going to try and get this centered, Nick, somehow. I would spray this table down if we had... We're working on the nice big stainless island tonight. So I'm going to try and get this guy centered. Okay. Oh, Kathy said to name it Nicole after Nick. Or we just call it Nick. Nicky. So cute. Mick the turkey lurkey. That's cute.
The turkey
oh,
lurkey.
you guys are cute. Okay. Oh, I forgot one thing I wanted to do, but I think Let's see if this is gonna, if I have enough in here. We'll try without. Okay, so I'm gonna move it over this way, I think. I want to make sure he's centered before I put everything else on. Mona, how are you? You're at Disneyland. Oh my goodness. Wow, lucky you. Have fun. Techie turkey. Rachel. Okay, so I'm going to get out our little feathers here. So now you can see where all these fun colors are coming into play. These little surfboards, Nick said. They don't look like surfboards.
I thought they looked like surfboards at first.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to try and mix up the colors here a little bit. This one. Am I missing one? I seem to be missing. Did I only do 5? I thought, oh, I only did 5. There should be 6. That's funny. Okay. There should be 6 of these. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to crush these. There should be 6. So I'll have to finish one and then take a picture of it so you guys can see for tomorrow. Thanks, Mona. So the idea here with this little guy is when everybody's dry, it would sit on top of these feathers, but we are missing one feather. So I think what I'll do is take a picture tomorrow because I don't want to crush. I might get away with setting it on there. I don't want to crush this. But so he's kind of like a fun little whimsy sort of turkey. I did 5. That's so funny. I'm not with it tonight. I thought I counted 6. But I have one here that's not decorated, so obviously. But anyways, so that guy would go there. So then you have this cute little turkey. Oh, that's so funny. He thought it was a surfboard at first, too. Charity. Yeah, it kind of does look like a little surfboard.
Great minds think alike, Charity. Make sure he knows.
Oh, gosh. This would also be really cute with some fall leaves behind it, like some nice oak leaves, or you could use a feather cutter. This one I just cut by hand. But yeah, I hope you guys like our little turkey tonight. I thought he was so cute. What would be cute too if you wanted to make a bigger platter for a lot of people, you could obviously put more feathers, or you could put another layer of feathers behind it. You could decorate some little pumpkins, so you have little pumpkins off to the side. These obviously aren't decorated, but you could totally build this up. That's the really fun thing about platters. And I did a turkey that had his hat separately, so if you wanted more pieces that you could share with people, you could do things like this where you have different features that are added on to the cookie instead of it just being one big cookie. So then more people could eat off of it, kind of thing. And then we have this gobble gobble up here. I'm going to push this guy down a little bit so then you can kind of see. Let's take this out of here. We'll put that up there maybe. Can they see that, Nick? Or should I move it down a little bit more? Can they see the gobble gobble?
Yep. Maybe to the other side. And a little bit lower.
To the other side? Okay.
No, like the gobble gobble to the other side.
Oh, to this side? Or this way? This way?
You're going, yeah. Like completely the other side.
Oh, I was trying to put it to fill in this space.
The other space is empty.
Like there?
You do you.
Okay. Anyway, there's our cute little guy. You love it? Thank you so much. Thank you. So basically the way I feel about cookies is, like Nick just said, you do you. And everybody's, there's always trends that are happening, and I love the trends too. But if you do something a little bit different, I honestly think that's the thing that could make you stand out. And, you know, just do your own thing and do little things that make you happy. So that's why I chose this cute little turkey tonight. Yeah, it's like a speech bubble, Karen. Thank you, Crystal. Mona, this was, I traced the image onto a piece of acetate, and then this basically I used as my stencil to cut out the cookie. So I just went around here on the cold cookie dough with a little paring knife and cut it out. Same for the little feathers. Thank you so much. Okay. Nick, what do we need to do now?
We need
I don't know
to
if these will stay.
make sure everyone has liked and shared this video and our page. It really helps us to continue keep pushing these videos out. These cookie looky shows or episodes. What do we call them? Episodes?
Episodes.
Shows, classes. Everyone's got a different name for it.
Yeah,
These cookie lookies.
cookie lookies. Oh my gosh, I look so tired tonight. I am tired tonight.
I am ready for bed.
Are you?
Totally.
Okay, I'm gonna get a cute little picture of this after. I'm putting little beads out everywhere right now. Yes, sprinkle time. They're rolling everywhere. I put them in this cute little, like, remember Party Light? From Anita. Anita gave these to me. But I put them in this little ghost Party Light candle holder. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you had a fun night and maybe learned a thing or two, maybe inspired you to try something a little bit different. Yeah, make sure, like Nick said, you like and follow the page. Give us a follow on Instagram, too, if you're over there, so you can keep updated with what's happening in the shop. We should be back next week,
I think so.
as far as I know, but we'll have to see, because there's some big stuff that has to happen in the shop next week.
It takes priority.
Yeah, so that could make things really messy in here. So we will let you know. We'll plan to be here next week, but it's kind of up in the air, I guess, a little bit. Yes, have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Okay,
All right.
have a great
Have a good
weekend.
week.
Thanks so much.
See you guys.
Bye.
Oops. Ta-da. That was just me. Bye.